Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everybody. Today we will talk about my last touches as the application of the reader's response theory. My name is Noor Ihab Jaber, and
my name is Sarah Ramlawi.
Okay.
Now, my last duchess. That's my last duchess painted on the wall, looking as if she were alive. I call that piece a wonder. Now, Frau Banlow's hands work busily a day, and there she stands. When I read these lines, it shows that the Duke loves his wife very much. From the first time, he really loves her, and so that he made Frau Banlow draw a painting for her, because to show how much he loves her. And that reminds me with a poem for Nabiga Dhubyani. He says, تعصي الإله وأنت تظهر حبه هذا لعمرك في المقال هذا لعمرك في المقال بديع لو كنت تصدق حبه لأطعته إن المحب لمن يحب مطيع. And that's, like they present the idea that the one who loves actually is presented it's gonna be obvious in what he's doing. It's not enough to say that I love God, but you're not praying. This is not love. The true love is to do, and it will be obvious of what you're doing.
Yes. So, what do you think about this? About these lines, please? Your ideas, your opinions. Give me your opinions,
you
please.
could read this question. It might help you.
Yeah.
Yes, hang on.
The same as you, Sarah. When I read this stanza, I thought that he was praising his wife, but actually when I listen to the explanation for these lines, I discovered that he was praising the painter, the craft handler.
Yes.
So it's not
Okay. Thank you. Well, to please you, said, and look at her. I said, for a bundle by design, for never read strangers like you that pictured countenance. The depth and passion of its earnest glance. But to myself they turned, since not put by the curtain I have drawn for you but I. So here in this stanza, he talks about his wife. He like a design. So he painted the picture as he just alone can read this. So here in this line, since not put by the curtain I have drawn for you, but I. Here he shows the arrogance of himself. So I have a verse from the Quran say. قال تعالى سأصرف عن آياتي الذين يتكبرون في الأرض بغير الحق وإن يروا كل آية لا يؤمنوا بها وإن يروا سبيل الرشد لا يتخذوه سبيلا وإن يروا سبيل الغي يتخذوه سبيلا ذلك بأنهم كذبوا بآياتنا وكانوا عنها غافلين. So he shows here the arrogance, and I think that the arrogance.
This verse,
Yeah.
explain the text. What is the similarity?
The similarity here.
That will hold in your mind
Yeah.
while you are reading the text.
When I read this line exactly, I think he has arrogance here. So because he talks about himself, he just alone can read his wife, and no one can see the purity of the picture just alone. So this is very arrogant here.
For me, like when I read these lines, it shows like the one he's talking to is not listening to him. So he get mad and he said, "Will please you sit and look at her? You know, like he's not interested. The listener is not interested in what he's saying, and he's trying to show off and trying to tell, for never read a stranger like you that picture continents. That means that you don't understand in art. I am the one who understand, and actually he's trying to show power and control on the listener to show that you are lucky to meet me. You know, and you have, you know, like he started to say like no one can. And you're lucky to see this painting also, because no one can open these curtains for you but I. So what do you think about these lines? Yes, Noor.
So those lines brought to my mind Tamim al-Bardousi's poem when he said, إِنَّ الْمُحِبَّ يَرَى فِي ظِلِّهِ رَغَدًا. So this man loves himself to an extent
Yes.
that he just doesn't mind degrading himself and degrading others for the sake of just like showing off.
Yeah.
So this was actually came to my mind.
Yes.
Anyone else? Okay.
And what do you think about that, Doctor, please?
About this, I mean, the extract or the whole thing?
The whole thing about
You should have started by following the techniques of the
Uh-huh.
school, by explaining what is it all about.
Mhm.
This-
So we talked about not in the
right?
poem in
And
general.
you are supposed to make the class interactive, but you have to reflect your opinion first.
yeah.
You understand what I mean? That you have to explain the whole poem, and after you explain the whole poem,
Uh-huh.
you go right stanza by stanza,
Oh,
right, in order to reflect it to your own experience, related to your experiences.
So we need to
Right,
explain
use,
it.
Right? No, what I understand.
We need to
I mean,
explain
you
that,
don't
yeah.
need to set only or to stand in front, right, of the class to ask them to analyze it.
Yeah.
You have to reflect your own opinion first.
Yes.
Explain it first. Then you discuss. Right, regarding my opinion about this, I find that this man is rude. Right?
Yes.
Doesn't
Yeah.
know how to speak to others. Right? He needs a course in what we call it, right, the general conduct, how to talk to people, how to talk to people. He's having, right, a kind of appreciation for himself. If I go right through the lines, I will find that in every line there is almost I or me
I.
or myself or myself. So
Myself.
the focus is on
About himself,
not
yes.
on what
Possessive
sense.
others. And someone
Yes.
who calls right his own right guest as a stranger and accuses him of being stupid is actually not a polite one.
Yeah.
Right? What comes to my mind, right? Too many people around us here in
Me too.
right?
Yes.
Not remembering, okay, or recalling, okay, a verse from the Holy Quran. As I told you, don't go to the Holy Quran and the Quranic, or right, the prophetic Sunnah. You can always find experiences
In your life.
In your life, yes.
that too many people, they don't know how to solve. They don't
Yeah.
know. And the only thing that they are concerned about is themselves.
Selves,
Themselves.
yeah.
Right? And they would like to show off, and at the end you will discover they don't understand anything. So he is a kind of a living example, or a fictional example of right, living people around us that we encounter every day. We encounter every day. But right, they might not come to the same degree of criminality. I mean that they might not be as a criminal as the Duke, but the same behavior is still reflected by them.
Yeah.
And seemed as they would ask me, if they durst, how such a glance came there, so not the first. Are you to turn and ask us, sir? 'Twas not her husband's presence only, called that spot of joy into the Duchess' cheek, perhaps.
So here he's so also showing the arrogance, and also it reminds me of many people. So I can't, say here their names, but like they're trying to show up because they want to. They don't feel about it. They have a stigma. I don't know. They don't want to show the other people that I deserve everything and I am the power. I have the control, and he's so arrogant. So that's a very.
Okay. What's the thing to comes to my mind when I read this? Here, the listener and or the visitor of the of the of the of the speaker, yeah, the Duke, yes, he tried to touch the confidence of this speaker, because he talks about it was not her husband's presence only called that spot of joy into the Duchess. Here he tried to touch the confidence of himself. So I think the Duke doesn't have that, because he talks in the other lines about his wife. Here we have if our love is only a will to possess, it is not love. So when he talks about his wife in the other lines, he talks. This is. He tried to possess and to possess his wife. So this is I cannot consider that as the love.
So what do you
Okay.
think? Yes, Fatma.
I mean, the Duke doesn't have a self confidence himself.
Mhm.
Also, he doesn't trust her wife.
Yeah.
He say her husband's presence only.
Yeah.
Her husband's presence only. So he must be confident and he must trust her wife, because it's not really unfair to say that.
Yeah, I think the confidence from everyone here. So, what do you think about the confidence? What comes to your mind when you listen the confidence? Yes.
You can relate this character to a lot of like real characters.
Yeah.
A lot of people would degrade the people in front of them or before them, and for example, told them that their work is not good, or that they don't look good. For example, even like within us, there's so sometimes they do this because they themselves lack the confidence in what they are wearing, for
Yeah.
example, or in their work,
Yeah.
or in, for example, their skills or abilities. So
Yeah.
usually, he who lacks confidence
Yes.
would like.
But between the couples, the relationship between the couples, what do you think about that?
I guess that confidence is supposed to
Yeah.
be there because,
But here he doesn't have that.
yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Thank you.
Farah Bantloff a chance to say her mental lapse over my lady's rest too much, or baint must never hope to produce the faint half flush that dies along her throat. Such stuff was courtesy she thought, and cause enough. I don't know. Here he talks about his wife. I don't know, in a bad way. He's trying to present his wife in a really bad way. So he really seems here like he's feeling jealous from her. So he's trying to present her in a bad way in order to look as he's the good one and she's the bad one. And I don't know.
Maybe he's jealousy.
Yes, it's about jealousy. And once, like I read a post about these people who's trying sometimes maybe do some bad things just to present themselves in a good way, because they don't feel like they don't feel a value or they don't trust themselves. And they trying to do a harm to other people and trying to present them in a bad way, even if that was true or not. So they trying to like to lie themselves to live in their in an unreal world, to present that they are good but they are not actually. So what do you think about it? Yes, Shayma.
Yeah, I think that the things that leads you to say these lines is jealousy. So I think that jealousy sometimes
Kills the love, yeah.
I mean
It might not be necessary to be jealous,
So peace,
right?
yes.
Someone might be jealous, right, for someone he loves, but this one
Doesn't
doesn't
love.
actually love anyone but himself.
Yes.
I understand that this is a kind of pathetic,
Yes.
right, thinking, because he is just guessing what might cause, right, the smile on his own,
On
the
his
face
wife.
of his own wife.
Wife,
And
yeah.
therefore, he is not quite sure, right, that
Yeah.
this was actually the reason. He started by perhaps that Frabandov said this, and she thought
Maybe.
that this is
Yeah.
a courtesy, but he is just guessing, trying to shed, right, some shade of suspicion on the behavior of his own wife, but he's not actually jealous.
Oh.
Not
Yeah.
this type of people. This type of people, they don't have feelings, right?
Yeah.
Therefore, they
He's
cannot
very
be jealous.
crazy, really.
This is what I think.
Yeah. Thank you, doctor. For calling up that spot of joy, she had a heart, how shall I say, too soon made glad, too easily impressed. She liked whatever she looked on, and her looks went everywhere. Sir, 'twas all one. May favor at her priest. He talks about her. He talks about her wife. Here she has a heart, a good heart. She has a beautiful heart, but he doesn't have any feelings about her. So he has a contract ideas here, because he talks about her, but he in actual has a good heart. She loves everyone, and she's be happy easily, and she be sad easily. So that's, I think, beautiful heart, not
Yeah.
not bad.
Here's explains that he's really psychopath. You know, like, because before he trying to talks about his wife in a bad way, and here's like he's saying, no,
Yeah.
she's was have a good heart and she's a good wife, but she was a bad at the same way.
Of the world, she had a heart.
Yeah.
Right? As if it is something wrong to have a heart.
Yes.
You understand what I mean? He's not praising her, right?
Yeah.
This is what I understand. I understand whenever he said that she had a heart, as if it is something wrong in
A
her own
crime.
character, right?
Yeah.
And he is the right,
He-
as long as he's a heartless creature,
Yes.
right? He's good. He is
God.
Because, right? I do remember, right, one of the quotations of William Shakespeare when he wanted to describe, right? Okay, and I cannot recall exactly where or in which act, but it was in the Merchant of Venice, right? That he referred to them as, right, men with the hearts of dogs, right? Dog-hearted men, a dog-hearted man. This is what, right? This is exactly
Yeah,
the word.
a heartless.
Dog-hearted man. It means that he's a man, but what is inside him?
Dog.
Right?
He's an
heart of a
dog.
And this is what, this is
The kind of this.
right? This is the duke,
Yes.
right? So a man with the heart of a dog would consider having a heart as something bad,
Wrong.
Bad,
Yeah.
right?
Something strange.
So what do you think about it? What do you think about these lines? Anyone want to share?
I think you read it before, so
I know it.
so our discussion here is
Okay.
I think that it's quite strange to describe someone as too soon made glad. Like, what's wrong with being too
Yeah,
soon
you
made
see?
glad?
Yeah.
Come on.
That's why he's a psychopath.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, these lines actually reflect his
And too
psychology.
easily impressed.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah. And actually,
very simple.
yes, Shema.
Even if about something, like I think that like the Duke loves her wife, and because he loves her,
He have a contrast.
it's not that.
Right, yeah, go
They
ahead.
have a contract ideas here.
Because he loves
Feelings.
her like too much, he wanna possess her. Like he don't want
Yeah.
like anyone to
No, I don't
talk to
think-
her or to.
And this is why he gave commands and all
Yeah.
what the smile to stop all together. Right? This is a deadly love.
Like, there are many husbands who possess their wives and they wanna to be like just an object to hunt to them.
Yeah, but they don't kill their wives.
Yes,
They understand
this
what I mean?
kills. Yes,
It's not love, but they might define the love in another way.
Right. Yeah, why don't we take it the other way around, right? That a wife, right, likes to have her husband for her own. I mean,
Yeah.
her own husband, right? Not for anyone else. You
Yeah.
understand what I mean? Okay, good. Okay, this is something natural, something
Natural.
But what is unnatural is to kill your wife.
Yes.
What I see here while reading, I sympathize with this wife. She's with heart. She's very simple.
Yes.
He does not deserve her.
Yes. And I sympathize with the listener too. And he's suffering. I mean, I swear.
But what do you think when he says her locks went everywhere?
like she.
Ayn has a
She looks to everyone. But she's very simple here, yeah.
So.
The dropping of the daylight in the west, the patch of cherries, some officious fool, broken the orchard for her, the white mule, she rode with around the terrace, all and each, would draw from her like the approving speech. What I love here, I love he uses here the beauty of nature. He used the daylight in the west, patch of trees, but he used that in bad way. But he used that in bad way.
He's
He used that
trying.
in bad way.
He's trying to act as if he was a poet, you know, like he's trying to put words, but even it doesn't look as a good one. Actually.
Yeah, he cannot use that.
Romantic, okay.
Yeah.
How about the white mule? Is it
Yeah, very. No.
He's trying to be a poet and show off that he's a good poet, actually, but he's a
tried to
really,
show this,
really
but
bad
he
one.
can't.
So, what do you think about it? What do you think about it? Have anyone?
We can talk about the white mule when we met someone fool. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Or blush, at least she thanked men, God, good, but thanked. Somehow, I know not how, as if she ranked my gift of a 900 years old name with anybody's gift, who does so stoop to plan. This sort of trifling even had you skill.
Yeah.
He's a really psychopath. I'm gonna say it a lot of times.
Right,
okay?
everyone.
He's I don't know. Even he can't express what he wants to say because what he's saying is
I think
full of contradictory.
I think he didn't know his wife.
And
Because he talks about this is sort of a trifling.
he doesn't trust her.
Yeah, he cannot.
I
doesn't.
I
He
don't
didn't
think
deserve
that he
her.
even know himself well,
Yeah.
to know the other people. So he's I don't know.
Because she's very simple. She thanked everyone can give her. Everyone interact with her in simple way. She's. I think this natural.
She's innocent.
Natural, yeah.
She's innocent, and he's very arrogant.
But he had a
and
hard
then when he
hair.
said like my gift of a 900 years old name, you know, like
This is not arrogance. Actually,
Yeah,
it reminds me of Aristotle because it generates inside me like a sense of pity. Right?
Yeah.
I'm really happy. Why? Because this is the only thing that he is proud of.
Yes.
This is his 900 years old name. But actually he doesn't have anything else to be proud of.
My message to this to the Duke.
Get lost.
I remember I remember a line I remember a line of poem to المتنبي تواضع تكن كالنجم لاح لناظر على صفحات الماء وهو رفيع. I think that because he's very arrogant and talk about her.
he's not arrogant. He's a psychopath. He's a psychopath.
Yeah. Okay.
I actually can relate this to real characters. Like a
اللي
lot of
بيحكوا
people,
هناك لو سمحتوا please keep silent. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry for the interruption.
a lot of people, like you mentioned, have only their names to be
Yeah.
proud of.
Yeah.
Even here in Gaza, we see
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
understand.
like
Okay,
literally,
يعني-
we see this a
Yes.
lot. Like my name is.
This is what they like to start with.
Yeah.
And then you
Yeah,
Okay.
don't mention any family name, please.
No, I'm not.
Otherwise, yeah, right.
Okay.
Never do so.
Just in general.
So they would just like mention their family's names, and for example, they're not educated, and sometimes they do not work, and they just depend on this family name just to show off and to say and to
And-
create.
And you really,
Yeah, this is the only thing that they are
For
proud
themselves.
of.
yes,
Yeah.
they don't have anything.
They're like empty from the inside.
Yeah.
Even if they have,
Sorry.
even if they are educated,
Yeah.
they don't.
Yes.
Hey, but they are much proud of their own family name, right, than themselves.
Yeah.
That they have a psychological problem. You understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I consider it as a kind of a psychological support, that he's supporting his own psychological weakness by the family name.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's okay to be proud of your family.
Yeah, it's okay, but not,
Yeah.
it's not supposed to be the only thing that we're
Yeah.
proud of.
Yeah.
But to create something to be
Yeah.
To be proud of.
Okay. In a speech which I have not, to make your will quite clear to such an one, and say just this, or that in you disgust me, here you miss, or there exceed the mark, and if she let herself be listened so, nor plainly said.
Can I express myself
For
frankly?
sure.
He's disgusting me.
Yes.
I'm using his own words. I'm
Yes.
quoting him by the way. That is, these are not my words, but I'm quoting him, right?
Yeah.
As long as he says, right, to his own wife that you disgust me.
So you disgust me. This is
Actually, this is
Very bad thing.
remind me of a quote for Edmund Burke. He says, "Wherever undertakes to set himself up as a judge of truth and knowledge is a shipwrecked by the laughter of the gods." He's really he's expressing the darkness of himself, and he's I don't know how to explain his personality.
Right, I would put it in better terms,
Uh-huh.
right? That this man, although he's having a moral problem, he's having a moral problem, someone who does his own life, and the anti-feminist is having a problem, a mental as well as moral problem.
yeah.
But he is sitting himself as a moral ground. He himself is sitting himself as a moral
Moral
ground upon which he is judging the conduct of others.
Yeah.
Upon which, right? So what is good and what is bad, right? Based on his own moral understanding of things.
That's
And
why
therefore,
it's
this is actually pathetic. Right? When someone who is actually having a moral problem, but he is setting himself as a moral standard upon which the others' conduct is actually measured and judged, this is actually a problem, a big problem, which really happens in our own life.
Yes.
Too many people, they consider themselves as
A judge.
what the moral ground upon which all others are, right, classified and judged, right?
yes.
And
That's why he
therefore,
said.
right, anything that goes against what they think to be true, it means that they are what?
That's why he
this
said-
This is pathetic. This is a kind of psychological disease.
That's why he said to set himself up as a judge of truth and knowledge.
Yeah.
But he didn't know anything.
Yeah, he
I think-
actually doesn't know anything.
Yes.
So anyone like to share? Yes, Noor.
I guess this is actually the problem with today's definition of freedom. Like a lot of people
Yeah.
see that they are free to judge because, like, when Dr. Ayman said, they think that they are the moral ground. So, for example, when it comes to feminists, and those are like the most ones who are judged and judging nowadays. Like some feminists just want like they are marketing for example nudity and other like Western terms. So and they think that whoever does not like follow these terms can be judged. Which is so wrong. Like I have my own definition of feminism, for example, and I'm a feminist, and I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
And you have your own definition of this term.
You have to
and
respect it.
A lot of other terms too, like freedom and the freedom of opinion and expression. So people are just like a lot of people. I meet a lot of people who just like to judge, but dislike being judged.
That reminds me with the, like the German and the Nazis. They say they consider themselves as the best human in the world, and the rest are not, and they are the best creature of maybe human of the all. And
They are going so
I think-
far about the Jews. The people,
Yes.
They are occupying your land.
yes, they have the same thing, and also the British people, they consider themselves the same.
I think he follow here the political way when he consider himself know everything, but he didn't know anything.
Her,
Yes. Her wits tears forsooth and made excuse. In then would be some stooping, and I choose never to stoop. Oh, sir, she smiled, no doubt, whenever I passed her. But who passed without? Much the same smile. This grew, I gave commands.
and
Yeah.
he, yeah,
And then,
Where?
then
all
Then-
smiles talk together. We should thank you. Right? Yeah.
Then all the smiles stop together. There she stands, as if
No,
alive.
Go back in order to talk about the previous.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So he still talked about her smile, and but also he hears, we understand that he killed her, and that's a lot of people actually, it reminds me of a lot of people that thinks that killing somebody or gonna solve his problem, his life is gonna be the better without this person. But this is wrong. It is not about him, it's about you. You have the own problem of looking about the things, and you should think about all what happened to you in your life is because of you, of what you're doing, because what you're doing is good. You're gonna see the result of what you're doing in later. So don't blame other people. These people who always blame other people of their failure and of their failure. These are trying to run away from the reality that they are the one who actually failed. So they trying to kill other people.
I think here, what's the thing to come mind? He describes his wife here, and when he talk about she smiles to everyone. He made that's, I think this is simple thing and natural thing in our life, but he cannot understand that because he have a hard and difficult heart here.
Yes, a strong heart.
Yes.
Yes, Noor.
So this reminds me of a totally contradicting idea. When we usually say وَمِنَ الْحُبِّ مَا قَتَلَ.
ومن الحب ما قتل.
Like,
Yes.
a lot of people die for the sake
Yes.
of their lovers, and for the sake of, for example, the love
They kill
have.
themselves. I mean,
Yes.
they are willing to sacrifice
Yeah.
themselves for the sake of the people whom they love.
Exactly.
I know الحب اهتمام, not ما قتل. I think that.
But that's not the same. That's not love.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a totally contradicting idea to this one. Like, he's killing his wife because
Yes.
he thinks that she doesn't love him enough. That's
Well,
so
crazy, I know.
Like, there's another saying
Yes.
that أحبب حبيبك هونا ما عسى أن يكون بغيضك يوما ما
يوما ما
عسى
عسى
أن
أن يحبك يوما ما.
Yeah, so the true love actually is to sacrifice with yourself to the one who you really loves, not to sacrifice, not to
sacrifice,
kill
yeah.
the other people.
Yeah, and I remember a quote. I'm sorry, I don't remember the writer, but he was talking about like what the true love from his own perspective. So he was like when others love or share love, or he just didn't want to say fall in love because he said that adults are not supposed to fall in love. They
Yeah.
are supposed to rise in love because love is to rise, is to help the other person in your relationship and to rise, to support them.
الحب اهتمام here. Because the
support them and to make them like grow better,
Yes.
to make them show the best of themselves. So, and this is actually what I believe that love between any two couples or in any kind of relationship
Yeah.
is supposed to be like. Like love is supposed to, you're supposed to rise in love, not to fall in love.
yes,
Not to kill in love.
not to kill that. Yeah.
To live a little bit away from the context. But as you said, I remember one of my friends that said that the love that kills almost, that it is the love food. Love
Oh my God.
the most fatal love.
The food.
So this is what we call it gluttony. Gluttony. Glutton is a glutton. One of the seven
Glutton.
deadly sins. اللي هي النهم بتسمى.
حب الأكل.
يعني فجعان بالعربي.
زعل. Okay, go ahead.
ضل 5 دقايق.
Okay, I was trying to feel. As if alive, wilt please you rise, will meet the company below then. I repeat, the count your master known,
Magnifique.
munificence is as
Beneficence.
Magnificence.
magnificence, yeah,
Yes.
magnificence, is ample warrant that no just betrayals, pretense.
He really killed her.
Yeah, he kills her, and actually that's reminded me with the movie I watched is called Stoneheart. Actually, talking is about a psychopath people, like all psychopath
Yeah.
living in an island, and they all of them trying to act as they are a normal people, but they actually are not. And when I read the story, I really remember them, and they actually kill each other. He's trying to act as he's normal people. He's a normal one, and he's a good one actually. Not only normal, he's a good one, but he's not. And it's what I feel then. It was so unlikable feeling actually. I feel like I'm the psychopath because I'm watching this thing. So I didn't like it, and it's the same what happening with my last tester. So what do you want to add something? Yes, Noor.
Yeah, so something just like rushed to my mind. Murid al-Barghouti says, start any story with secondly, and you have like a totally different vision of the same story. So the thing that rushed to my mind is, what if the Duchess was talking here? How would she describe him? And what would she say about her husband?
This is the point that she was not given a chance to say.
Yes.
We only listen to one voice.
Yeah, that's the problem. We're only like listening to his voice.
Yes.
And we cannot even recognize the voice of the guest here.
Yeah.
It's just like there's no voice of anyone
Yeah.
except him.
He only listens to himself.
Yes.
You can think
about what
the,
she's gonna
about
say.
the response of the
Duchess.
guest. No, the response of the guest. You can.
Right.
It was obvious that he
answers-
wasn't.
Write the poem again. We write it again, right? But my Duke, right?
My
Duke.
The Duchess.
What would you say?
Well, for me, I would say
Right,
that.
not now, right?
Uh-huh.
Just think
Not now,
about
just
it.
think
right?
Okay.
If you can write something, right, and make that the speaker is the Duchess herself, not the Duke, what would she say?
Yes.
نشهد عليه يعني we listen
If-
to his own
if-
story.
if the
right?
Duchess-
We want to listen
Well-
to her story.
The ideas or opinions
Right?
comes
We
to your
listen
mind.
to the story from his own point of view. What would her story be?
She would not say anything. She's
Right?
so.
Just write it down. Write it down
Oh.
and post it to the
Yeah.
group.
Uh-huh.
Show us.
Okay.
Got it. Of mine.
Okay. Of mine for dowry will be disallowed, though his fair daughter's self, as I have vowed, at starting is my object. Nay, we will go together down. Sir, notice Neptune, though tamping a seahorse, thought a rarity, which close of Innsbruck, cast in bronze for me. I think seahorse. This is something beautiful. I guess when the guest go to the falling place. He see that, and he think that's something very very great.
But I think the guest is really annoyed and he feels like he make a really
Because
big
he's-
mistake because he
because
came
he's very
here
crazy.
and listened to him and think even to give him his daughter.
Yeah.
His mind, blah, blah, blah,
Blah,
blah.
blah, blah.
Shut up!
Yes. Yes, no.
So I guess if I am to summarize like the whole poem, we can summarize it with taming a seahorse. Like his personality and like the whole poem can be summarized in this line,
In this
taming a seahorse. He thinks that his wife is an object and it's like something that
A
he
wild
owns.
horse.
Yeah.
Wild
Needs
horse
to be
that needs
tamed.
to be
Yes,
tamed.
And
sure.
if he cannot tame her, what is going to happen? He would kill her.
He killed her exactly.
So we done here.
Right, thank you very much.
Hope you enjoy it.
Uh,